Good morning, Team 201. I hope you've all had a very good weekend and you are all eager and ready to start another week with us. Fortunately, another short week, another 4-day week, and there are many of those to come yet. It's a bit crazy, hey? I just wanted to touch base and check in with you quickly and sort of just pass the baton over between the topic of the framework and the business combinations that you'll be doing now going forward this week, and just position it a little bit on this triangle that you'll recognize from our welcome meeting last week. So you see at the bottom of the triangle, we've got bookkeeping, the framework, and the economic event, almost the pillars that everything's going to be working on. And then these go up the triangle and you do critical thinking along the way. So I just wanted to show you on this triangle where the framework is positioned. And I think you'd all agree with me. We've pushed the bookkeeping up a level. And that I think you're starting to understand that a journal is not something that's just written like a rule. It actually comes from the framework. And then the framework we've pushed up a level from what you had in the first year. I think content-wise, that makes sense to you. And then the economic events you would have started picking up now in the discussion questions. We've also raised the bar a little bit there. So that's sort of where you're positioned on the framework. Now remember, the framework also underlies consolidated financial reporting. And we're going to move into your business combinations now this week. And just to sort of position it, we almost take a little step back because business combinations, you've only done the first 3 chapters of the book with you. And we're going to walk a path with you this year, teaching you more about the basics of business combinations. So you'll see on this triangle, I've actually put the bookkeeping for business combinations at a lower level than generally you would expect on a 201. And the reason for that is you are still learning the bookkeeping for business combinations with us this year. So for that reason, business combinations in isolation, and you'll see this in your textbook, the economic events are also at a very low level. We do, though, try and raise the bar a little bit in terms of the way you start thinking about it, with applying the framework to it, realizing that other business you own is sort of an asset, and the asset definition of control comes into play. So with the critical thinking and the framework, we do lift that bar a little bit. But in general, business combinations is at quite a low level in FRK 201 because it's new to you. You haven't done a lot on it yet. So we've got to set those basics at the bottom of our triangle this year for this specific topic. Now, as we move through the year, you might look at this and think this is ridiculous. But what I want to just say is it's usually not the business combination that's the challenge. It's a challenge when we start integrating it with other topics. And those topics will be at a higher level. So the economic events surrounding IAS 16, property, plant, and equipment, for example, may be at a higher level on this triangle. And that makes the business combination seem difficult. But if you strip the IAS 16 and IAS 40 or whatever the case is out, you're going to see the business combination, bookkeeping, and accounting this year is still at a fairly low level. Then the last thing just to touch on is your revision assignment on this little triangle of ours. The revision project is looking backwards at your 101 work. So the bookkeeping, again, you see, is at quite a low level. We do elevate it in terms of the framework because that we've already done now with you. And we do elevate it in terms of the economic events. So you might experience in the integrated questions that you're doing that the economic event is slightly more complex than something you may have seen at your first year. I hope this helps just sort of position yourselves in the week going forward. Have a great week, guys. I'll see you around.